I have it. This I'm going by the law, Your Honor. I'm not just making
No,
up
you're not
anything.
going by the law. You're making up the law as you go along. You're not going to make a mockery of the judicial system, which is what you're attempting to do. You're also not going to waste this court's time and resources on cases, on arguments that are invalid. I'm not wasting any more time on it. We are done.
Today, we've got a sovereign citizen in court who's refusing to pay off his massive credit card debt because apparently, he thinks the rules don't apply to him. We're diving into two separate hearings with this guy, and let me just say, it's a wild ride. The judge doesn't hold back at all, completely shutting down his nonsense and giving him a much-needed reality check. This guy has zero basis for his argument, and honestly, he just looks ridiculous. As you watch, let me know in the comments, are you buying any part of this guy's story? Or is he just digging himself into a deeper hole? And if you enjoy content like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's dive in.
Mr. Chavez, can you turn on your camera and tell me your name?
Chavez Arnold.
There you go. All right. So Mr. Chavez, do you have all of that now?
No, like he said, I didn't. After 10 days, he just said, I could check my email, but I haven't received anything from him.
Did you receive all the documents you requested?
No.
Mr. Royce, when were they sent?
They were sent all documents except for he had requested internal accounting records of Chase Bank, just generally, not specific. But the Chase Bank record relative to his account statements were provided.
Okay. So, Mr. Chavez, what is the defense on this case? What is your defense?
Well, I needed to see one of the documents. Well, my defense is that, I've been researching the law and, the powers of the banks. And it's more of a accuracy of the actual accounting that I'm trying to make sure and, make sure that everything is accurate. So it's not my intent to not pay anything, but I need to know, based off the accounting that I am paying what I'm supposed to be paying. And based off of what they're saying,
your last payment, back on 5/15/23, you owed $3,398.36. And they're coming for $3,398.36. That was the balance on the card at that time.
Like, that's why I asked questions, Your Honor. You say you gave them 10 days to send it to me. They didn't send it to me. I just got an email this morning.
You're not disputing that you had the card, right?
But that's not the issue at hand, is what I'm saying.
No, it is the issue at hand. The issue at hand is, did you have a credit card? Did you use money on that card? And did you not pay the card off? That's the only question.
Right.
Those are the questions.
Okay, my defense is I am the lender and they borrowed from me.
What did they borrow from you?
My personal security.
I swear I'm actually losing brain cells listening to this guy. He's seriously trying to argue that the real issue isn't him owing credit card debt. Like, really? And if that wasn't bad enough, he's now claiming that the bank is borrowing money from him and that they should be paying him back for personal security. What does that even mean? Am I the only one who thinks this guy is completely out of touch with reality? It's almost like he Googled how to sound smart in court and ended up on the worst website possible. What do you guys think? Does he even have one valid point, or is this just pure nonsense? Let's jump back in.
No, I'm not buying that. No. Listen to me. Listen.
It's not about, I have it. I'm going by the law, Your Honor. I'm not just making up anything.
No, you're not going by the law. You're making up the law as you go along. You took a credit card on. You agreed with that. And then you had a credit card. You used the credit card. You have a balance on the card. And you didn't pay on the card. They don't owe you anything.
So when I asked for the application, the evidence that opened up the account, because they go by GAAP accounting principles. If my application opened up the account, that means there will be a credit on my account because that's a cash equivalent. That's what the law says.
All right. Yeah, motion for summary disposition. Hearing date will be January 9th to 25th. And the motions to be filed forthwith, and a copy obviously is to be provided to Mr. Chavez. And we'll see you back on January 9th, 2025 at 9:30 a.m. for the hearing.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, we're all set.
That wraps up the first hearing, and oh boy, that was a train wreck. Now let's jump straight into the second hearing, where the judge absolutely loses it on this sovereign citizen. And trust me, you're going to want to stick around for this. His excuse this time is so ridiculous, it's actually hilarious. You won't believe the nonsense he's about to pull. And not only is this about one debt, but now we're diving into his second debt as well. Let me know what you guys think about this guy so far. Now let's get into it.
I've got Mr. Chavez back. Do I have Discover Bank still?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Chavez, can you turn on your camera and your microphone, please, sir? All right, we're back on 24010674, the Discover Bank versus Arnold Chavez. All right, and I know that we had a previous court date on this on October 10th, and the default was filed, and then an objection was filed timely on this case. So we're here to set aside the judgment. What's your motion, Mr. Chavez?
Well, that day, Xfinity, I have Xfinity internet, and they was working in my area. And I have proof of, I talked to them in the chat. They confirmed it. And I have they gave me a bill credit for the inconvenience. So that's why I wasn't able to attend, because I was having problems with my internet.
All right. And just so you know, Mr. Gopal, we did have notice that he had contacted the court and that he was unable to get on that day.
Oh, he contacted the court on October 10th?
I'm not sure if it was on October 10th, but it was shortly thereafter. If it wasn't October 10th, that he was having internet issues and could not get on. So here's what we're doing. I'm assuming, Mr. Chavez, do you have a defense on this case?
I just want to go through the due process.
Okay. All right. Here's what we're going to do. Arnold indicates that he does not dispute that the card was taken out. The only dispute he appears to have is that a few paragraphs here, he does not agree with the fact that by virtue of defendant's default and breach, the entire balance of the account is now due, and these statements were attached, that the contract and or monthly statements are written instruments, evidence indebtedness with a specified interest rate, and that he disputes whether or not it's an account stated. It clearly is. It's the original creditor. There's no sort of defense regarding assignment on this case. The balance at the time of the complaint was $4,378.29.
Well, I have affidavits that support what I'm saying, but I will want to enter into this as evidence.
The motion for summary disposition is granted sua sponte by this court. There is no valid defense to this claim, and
I couldn't even enter any evidence.
And a judgment in the amount of what is claimed in the complaint, $4,378.29, will be entered by this court, and documents can be submitted for that purpose. And officer, I have a few more documents for that, and we're all set. All right, we're all set. Thank you, Mr. Arnold. Mr. Arnold, I have ruled against you.
I am allowed to
do so on the court rules. You filed an answer. It's the appropriate response to this. You're not going to make a mockery of the judicial system, which is what you're attempting to do. You're also not going to waste this court's time and resources on cases, on arguments that are invalid. I'm not wasting any more time on it. We are done. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
How do you guys think the judge handled this sovereign citizen? Honestly, he wasn't the worst sovereign citizen we've ever seen, but it's painfully obvious that he had zero respect for the law. He was just throwing out random nonsense, hoping something would stick. Like, come on, dude, just pay your credit card debt like the rest of us. These sovereign citizens seriously need a crash course on how to act in court because half of them don't even try to make sense. This guy was just tossing out arguments left and right, and even the judge called him out for how ridiculous it all was. Honestly, I think judges should start ending these Zoom calls and force these people to show up in person. It would probably cut down on the nonsense. And I don't know about you guys, but I highly doubt we've seen the last of this guy. There's no way he's actually going to pay back that much money, and I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up back in court with the same ridiculous excuses. Do you guys think he actually believes the bank owes him money? Or is he just grasping at straws to get out of this mess? Either way, this guy was a whole circus all by himself. He might not have been our typical sovereign citizen, but he was, definitely acting like one, with all his nonsense and constant interruptions. And let's be real, if he was actually broke and needed help, the smartest thing to do would have been to get a lawyer. There's no reason not to. Let me know what you guys thought about this whole hearing. Personally, I found it pretty entertaining, but this guy is just a lost cause. Also, does anyone else think it looks like he's in some kind of dungeon? I don't know if the sovereign citizens are holding him hostage or what, but either way, thank you guys for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and take care.